Good evening. My bad. Let's see if this works here. All right. Try to get this camera set up a little bit better so it's easier on my back here. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Is it coming through? I got the Wi-Fi booster on, so hopefully that will work. My glasses, I broke them today. They're slightly crooked. But without them, I cannot see the screen at all. Loud and clear. Awesome. All right. What is new, guys? Greetings from Sweden. Man, the internet is amazing. Hey, Tyler's on. Got the Wanderlodge running today, if you saw the video of that. So I didn't anticipate any issues with it. Just routine maintenance on it and stuff. Yeah, I'm down in Victoria, Texas. So McFadden was actually where I was told I was going to be, but his address is actually Victoria, but we're still about a half hour outside of Victoria. But it's a Victoria address, but it takes a good 25 minutes, I think, to get to Victoria. Finishing up with the engine side of things on the Wanderlodge. It's kind of been a crazy week this week. The coolant, we flushed the coolant system out of there, drained that all out, put new in, 25 gallons in it. I was getting a little concerned that we'd only got like 22 gallons out of the 25 gallon system, and then once we read up in the Wanderlodge book a little bit, it tells you how to get some more stuff out of that heating system, which we did. And then we got 24 and a half gallons in the 25 gallon system. So I'm real confident, and we could probably add a little bit more. And I haven't run it up the temperature on the engine yet to open up the thermostats, but we bled everything on it, so it should be good to go. So yeah, 20, almost 25 gallons, 24 and a half gallons. That's great.
You have somebody asking what year that bus is.
The Wanderlodge, I've said it before. I want to say it's 87, but I could be completely wrong. But I think that's what it was. It's a beautiful bus. It is. You're not going to find one nicer than that. That's for sure. It is not for sale. Yeah, he's got a real good bus. We're just going through it and doing all the kind of routine maintenance stuff that's kind of been ignored maybe for a while, or we don't know if it's been addressed or not, just to make sure that it's completely roadworthy and ready to go for him. So, changing all the fluids. We didn't even know for sure what oil was in it. Just kind of assumed what it was, but we didn't want to take any chances, so we wanted to make sure it had, we put Della 100 40 weight in there. Changing all the filters, everything. So just routine maintenance. And then tomorrow, taking the day off, and then Monday we're going to get into the wheel bearings, brakes, all that kind of stuff. So just, again, routine maintenance stuff. I don't anticipate any problems with that, but we're going to figure it out, what needs to be done. Tomorrow I'm going to work on my bus for a little bit. I got an issue. My propane furnace doesn't want to work, and it actually hasn't worked since I had the batteries out. So I think maybe I disconnected something or did something with the 12 volt side of that. And then I also have a fan that blows. It's like a booster fan, like a bilge fan that it boosts the air through one of the heating circuit, and that's not working either. And I'm thinking that's all stuff that I somehow either disconnected on the house side of things when I was having the issues with the batteries, which I'm still having battery problems. I'm down to only 3 batteries on that bank, so the rest of them are disconnected right now. Did you have more questions, Kelly? I need to.
Yeah, are the 92 series not as reliable as the 71 series?
Well, they have their problems as well. I've seen more issues with the 92 series than I have with the 70 ones, but maybe it's just in buses or something else. I don't know. But there's specific issues with things that have sat for a long time. The O-rings on the liners, because it's a wet liner, not a dry liner. Getting coolant in the oil is a real issue with them. The bearings have issues where, and I didn't know that I believed it at first. Luke at US Coach, kind of my go-to guy for information and stuff, said that on the 92 series, you really need to get in there and inspect those bearings every 100,000 miles. If you're not going to replace them, at least inspect them. And the first one that I did that was like 200,000 miles or something like that, and pulled them off, and they were terrible, copper showing through them, and I was just completely shocked. And then the next one that I did was 150,000 miles, and it looked like crap. And then this one here was 145,000 miles, and they had wear. They weren't gone, but they had a significant wear. It cost him, probably $350 maybe for me to inspect them, and then just to go ahead and replace them was like another. So it was under $1,000, including the parts, to get in there and replace all those bearings and kind of start the clock over on that issue. They use the same bearings, the same design, same bearings in the 71, and it's just more. It's got more horsepower, more. That's. From 71 to 92 cubic inches per cylinder, and of course this is turbo after cooled. It's just taking a beating. So yeah, the furnace isn't even turning on. I saw Rodney just post something about that, but yeah, when we flip the switch, nothing happens. I don't think it has a reset on it. Not that I'm familiar with. Anyways, question?
Hi Scott, do you have to add support to the base to carry?
No, they're made to carry lots and lots of weight. So they're fine.
I did not get a chance to read the coolant bottle. Do you use anti-cavitation coolant?
That's why we put that in there specifically. We didn't know for sure what was in there. We could just see that it was green, and he didn't know how old it was, and we didn't have any test strips. We just ordered more test strips for the coolant. But he just wanted to clean slate, know that everything was done, that it was done right, flushed, we'd see if any crap came out of the system. It came out really clean, but I mean, that would have been a concern that, the bus is, I don't know what that is, 30 some years old. Just wanted to make sure that everything was fine and know that he had a good bus going forward.
Coolant do you recommend for the Detroit diesels? Is the pink SCA pre-charged stuff good?
That's what we used on this one, and absolutely that's good. But that's only for the 92 series. The 71 series, you can use any kind of coolant you want. Matter of fact, the only thing it says it says specifically in the book is do not use ditch water in the cooling system. So yeah, but the wet liners, cavitation is a big issue. So you got to make sure you have the right coolant in there. You're gonna have problems with your O-rings and everything else too. So
is the
I
paint?
wish I could get my glasses on straight.
Is the paint and interior original?
Yes, it is. Everything's original on there. The paint might have had a few touch-ups. We've seen a couple little spots with overspray and stuff like that, but I believe that is the original paint, and it's just had a couple little touch-ups on it. But the interior is completely original in there. Maybe different mattress and stuff like that, but other than that, yeah, it's completely original in there. Beautiful, too.
Have you thought about adding cruise control to Lenny?
No. That would be way down on my list of things to want to have done. Power steering, way up there. Jake brakes, way up there. Cruise control is just, I'll get a brick. That'll work.
Your cruise controls your foot all the way to the floor.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to change to a GoPro?
No. No, we'll keep using the cell phone because it's so easy for us to shoot, upload, edit. If I have to start spending time downloading videos to the computer, editing in the computer, waiting for the computer to do stuff, I don't have time for that. And
you had a GoPro and you took
I did have a GoPro and I took it back because I hated it. I've had a whole bunch of different video cameras throughout our photography career, and that GoPro, I did not care for it at all.
Is there something special about the silver 92 series, or are the green ones just repainted?
You can't ever judge anything by the paint on it. You got to go by the serial number if it's silver. But yeah, they made some serious improvements on it, and you don't really want a 92 series that's not a silver. Doesn't mean that's not painted silver, because people can paint them any damn color they want. That means nothing. But yeah, you don't want. I would not recommend it.
Are your red batteries savable?
Uh, I don't think so. They may be. We may be able to throw them on a desulfator, and maybe some magic will happen to them. Chemistry shows fine. They just have no cranking amps to them, and I don't know what's going on. So
What is the history of the name Bus Grease Monkey?
no real history to it other than it was just a name. When I originally started a forum, we were on another forum a lot, and there was a bunch of negative talking people all the time. People would come in, buy a new bus, and ask some questions, and people would just jump their shit about, you're a newbie and you shouldn't be having that bus, and they were really rude to them. And I got tired of that. And then one day, one of them was being shitty to me because I was working on an engine, and it didn't need an overhaul, but I was taking things apart on it, and I was painting the parts that I had off. And the guy's like, "Oh, you're just painting it green and calling it a rebuild." And I was like, "You ignorant." I was just so mad because I'm like, that's not all what I was doing. I never said it was rebuilt. I was working on it, but it didn't it had great liners. There was cross hatching in all the cylinders. It didn't need it. So I said, screw it. I said, I'm going to start my own forum, and where everybody's got to be nice to each other, and newbies can come ask questions. And not feel the wrath of the, I don't know, the cliques that were there. So we started our own forum, and that was a long time ago. And so we called it Bus Grease Monkey, and then I wasn't a bus grease monkey. I was just working on my own bus. I wasn't doing it for anybody else, and then it just went from there, I guess. So there was really no specific history other than we just started a forum years ago for that.
Where did you get that battery voltage tester you use?
I don't know what you're talking about. The little voltmeter, that's a free Harbor Freight cheapy one. And then if you're talking about the load tester, that's a Harbor Freight one too. They're nothing. They're junk. I gotta get a good one.
Is there any additive you can use to help prevent the wear on the bearings like Lucas?
You have to watch what you're adding in a two-stroke, because of the low ash requirements. I run the Hyperlube in mine, and I love the way that it feels. I haven't seen any adverse effects on it, but I haven't run it for 100,000 miles yet to really see if it does make a difference. But I really like the way that it feels. It really keeps things lubricated up top for sure. I know what stuff feels like, and when I pull it out and an engine's got Hyperlube, it's so much more slimy in the oil, and that's got to be an advantage, hopefully. But I don't know what it does to the ash content, so I don't have a huge amount of it in there. So
Did you consider electric power steering to Lenny?
no, that's not really an option.
What is the towing capacity of Lenny?
He doesn't have much of a towing capacity. He's more, yeah. You can't, yeah. You don't ever want to put more than 500 pounds of tongue weight on a GM. That's just something I've heard from day one on everybody's had a GM, because the roof actually supports the weight back there. And because I've already got a saggy rear end and had some structural work done on that roof line in the back, I don't really want to put any tongue weight at all on this bus. So I'm not towing anything that's got tongue weight. I pulled the Volkswagen thing many times behind here. It's just more of a pain in the butt for me to pull a toad, because I can't back up because my turn radius is so terrible. I have to back up a lot. Anytime you want to back up with the toad, you got to drop the toad, and that's a big inconvenience. So I'd rather just get somewhere and take an Uber, or now I think we'll both have one wheels, so we're somewhere we can ride the one wheels, a few miles into town or whatever, and then come back.
Is the issue with wear on Detroit Diesel Series 92 V8 connecting rod bearings is common problem on a Detroit Diesel 71 Series V8?
No, they're the bearings last a lot longer than the 71. They're not taking the kind of abuse they are with the 92, so that's why.
Should I add a water filter with DCA for my 6 Silver 92 on a Bluebird?
It never hurts to add that. Anything you can do to keep that cooling system up to snuff, and to make sure you're testing for, if you need to add additives to it. But definitely make sure that you have the right coolant in there on a 92 series.
Where is your son and how is he doing?
Tyler is in Nashville.
Franklin.
Whatever. Franklin, Tennessee. He's doing some work for Lance. Working on I think he replaced the fuel pump on Iron Man and some other stuff. So he'll probably have some videos coming up of that. And I think he's coming to Texas soon with Sage to rescue another Silversides. But I won't be a part of that. But make sure you follow his channel. I'm sure that'll be fun.
Was the bearing wear on the Wanderlodge consistent with the 150,000 miles of service?
Yep, that's how they look. It's weird that they look like that with so little mileage. Sorry, my back is killing me. Oh, yesterday, torquing main bearings, and especially the one main bearing when that socket broke. I was like right at 300 foot-pounds when that thing broke, and it was not pretty.
Is the Wanderlodge a monocoque or body on frame chassis design?
It's a bus frame. It's a Bluebird bus. So basically, the Bluebird school bus frame, slightly modified, but it is built on a regular solid steel frame. That's why that thing weighs like 1,000 pounds a foot. There's a lot of steel on that. Your volume is up on that. I don't know if you're aware.
I just have it on one, so I'll make sure you're coming through.
Okay, sorry.
Is there a break-in period on a minor in-frame rebuild?
No, not really. We're gonna, like, when you put new liners and stuff like that in there, then you definitely need to make sure that the rings are gonna get the proper tension that they need. You want to load them up, drive them under load, not let them idle, that kind of thing. What we did here, this is just minor maintenance on it. We're good. How about we talk about our song? Can we talk about our song?
A lot of people are saying they love it.
Oh shit, is our song awesome? Oh my gosh. Tom just blew it out of the park. I had no idea he was doing that, man. And actually, I don't even check my email very often. I just happened to check my email and I saw this Bus Grease Monkey song. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I opened it up and I played it and I was like, holy crap, that is amazing.
Okay, you have to tell it all though. You were crying.
Oh, come on.
It made you cry. You cannot lie. It made you cry.
She's ratting me out. I was like, that was really cool. Yeah, it was amazing. Now she's going to get me worse.
Sorry, babe, but...
Now I'm laughing too.
It was awesome.
He sent the thing and he's like, yeah, you can you can use the song. You have the rights to it, and yeah, that he worked real hard on it and did it. And I thought, oh, that was awesome. So it was really fun.
There's nothing wrong with crying. It was.
I'll turn the camera on you, and then I'll be dead.
I'm not crying.
Oh my god, my thing is leaking all over myself.
Okay, next. How long have you been doing bus repair work for people?
My glasses are totally screwed up now. I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, something like that. We have the How I Became the Bus Grease Monkey video. I highly recommend that you watch that. And then I had fun putting everything together for the man, I cannot see anything. Should have not done that. When you get oil on your glasses, it's like the end of no longer able to clean them. Yeah, when I started putting the video clips together to kind of make that went with the song, I only used stuff that was just recent, like stuff that was from the last like week or two or few months. Everything was from this year that was on there, so I could maybe do that some more. It was fun.
What would you recommend for maintenance on a D60 series, or what to watch for?
I know nothing about them. I don't even know what. Yeah, I know nothing about that. I only know 2-strokes, so I can't help you.
Have you fixed your heating system yet?
No. Oh, no, we have not. I'm gonna get into it tomorrow. Yeah, I think something I disconnected with it, but I already kind of answered that. So.
Would you agree that the Detroit is the ultimate veggie burner?
They'll run really good on veggie oil. I used to run my fishbowl. I ran this bus on veggie oil too, and I would just add it straight to the diesel, run it like up to like 70% veggie oil, 30% diesel, and it did not know the difference. It would start in cold weather, smelled a little bit funny, but had the same power and everything. It did not affect it. You just got to make sure that's super, super filtered. You will go through more filters, more fuel filters, and watch your hoses and your rubber lines and stuff like that. But I don't run it now because I don't have a source. I used to get really good quality veggie oil from the guy. He did carnivals, um, corn dogs and stuff like that. So he'd go to a carnival and set up for a week, and then that oil he would get. So it was only used for the 1 week period, and then I would get that from him, and it was super clean, super clear. I just had to get the chunks out of it. Was really it.
How much of an electric hog is the diesel heater?
I don't know. I haven't run it. I haven't run it all night since I've only been down on 3 batteries. I would assume it would still run all night on that. It never used to bring down my other batteries at all when I ran it all night long. It's super efficient on fuel. I just had a super chat come through here too. I'll get to that in 1 second. But yeah, it is a hog. I think it was on 1 battery, you'd be in big trouble. But I'll find out once I run it on these 3. So Eric D sent a super chat. Hi, I got an old 47 silver sides. Awesome. I need some brake work. Where can I go to order parts? I would try Luke at US Coach. If that's not there, then I'd call Gene Russell, Russell Diesel Service in Mill Spring, North Carolina. He got us the brake shoes for Sage's bus for his front and his rear. He got new blocks for everything, and some of them they had to cut down. So he actually has a chop saw where he cuts them to the right dimension. They're the right arc, but they're the different width of what. Because those are the pre-war was skinnier. So 47 shouldn't be that hard. But so that's why I tried Luke at US Coach first. If that doesn't work, then try Gene Russell.
Sorry, it threw me to the end, so I had to go
That's
back.
okay.
Anything new on the property? No, we're still waiting for him to come survey.
Yeah, we're waiting for the survey still. So there's a discrepancy as far as how many acres it is. The listing ad said it was one amount of acreage. The tax record said it was a different amount of acreage. The tax record showed actually 2 properties. It was 2 properties inherited by the same person. So then it really is both of the properties together, but then the 2 numbers didn't equal what they were saying it was. And then they changed their listing to a smaller number, but then when we put our offer in, we said it's got to be this amount of acre, or if it's less than this amount, then we're paying this amount per acre. So we're not paying what it was. So we're just waiting for the survey to get done. There's also a really large driveway that was not included on one map, but it is included on the other map. So we're just confirming that everything is included with it like it's supposed to be, which it should be. From talking to the agent and the listing agent, it seems like everything is perfectly fine, but we just want to confirm everything with the survey. Plus we want to have all the property lines marked. That way we just know that they're marked and we don't have to worry about it in the future.
And the title company said we had to have it done to close.
Yeah, the title company wanted it done. So.
Did your fan stop when the shroud bent, causing it to run hot?
No, but it loosened up the belts because the one belt was rubbing up against the piece of metal that curled back was up against the belt, and it rubbed into the belt, which the belt, when I tightened it up, one's just a little bit looser than the other one. One's riding a little bit deeper in the groove because of where it had rubbed on there. I've got some spare belts with me. So if I'm going to change the one, I like to change them both at the same time so they wear exactly the same in there. But yeah, so the fan had got loose because the belts were loose because the shroud was off. The shroud wasn't sucking as much air. It was just and it was a warm day too, but the temperature was really going up quick. But it's mostly because the fan had come loose because the belts had taken that wear.
Song question: is it going to be in the intro of all your new videos?
I don't know.
People are complaining.
I really want to have it there, or some part of it, or do like yesterday I did 17 seconds of it, and there were people complaining like, oh, we're here because now we want to hear this thing over and over and over. But I really like it. I think it's really cool. I know that you're never going to please everybody. I understand that is the nature of the game. So I really want to use it, and we'll probably try to use it. Maybe I'll throw in some different clips with it, so it's not the same clips over and over. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to piss people off and then have, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe for you because you do that. But I mean, I think if it's, 30 seconds or less, deal with it. So that's my feeling on it, but I don't know. Sometimes it takes time to edit that stuff too. So I'll keep working on it.
Hello from a bar in San Diego. Heard you may be coming out our way. When, if planned?
I'm sorry. Read that again because I was reading comments on here. My bad. I can't multitask. What was the question?
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, I'm done laughing, mostly.
Okay. Hello from a bar in San Diego. I heard you may be coming out our way. When, if planned?
Oh, I'm not making it to San Diego, unfortunately. So it looks like Phoenix is the farthest that we're going to make it. So we've got a few more stops here in Texas and then heading to Phoenix and then coming back to...
Yeah, we have to be back to closing the property.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to come
But
back.
I love San Diego. One of my favorite places.
Yeah, she has horrible allergies, and like San Diego is like the one place in the world
We
she
almost
could...
moved there.
Yeah, we did. We looked at property there for a while. Cost of living there is ridiculous, but yeah, it's like the one place in the world she can go and her allergies don't bother her at all. Just the climate there or whatever it is, it's amazing for her. I have a sister-in-law that lives there too. Ex-sister-in-law, but whatever.
Any plans on adding anything inside Lenny to make living in him more convenient?
What do we have planned for the inside?
I just still want my butcher block countertop.
Yeah, the butcher block countertop.
But that's not a must. I think we're good.
I definitely want to get some better house batteries. That'll make my life a lot easier.
They said inside.
That's still on the inside. It's in the bus.
Mess with the solar a little more, but as far as inside the bus, I can't think of anything else that I...
No, I think I want to raise this TV mount up in here higher that's in here so that we can actually use the counter space that's on the dresser thing as well. If we get rid of the propane furnace in here, I'll add another diesel heater. That'll give us another few square foot to do something on the floor over here. Maybe another table or something too. We don't really have a table other than the desk that I have next to me. So yeah, I'm not really sure.
We're quite happy the way we are.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty comfortable, and we live for months at a time on it. So, and there's nothing that I really... reverse osmosis system for drinking water. That would be cool.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about doing that, and maybe a little deep freezer or something too. We fill up that freezer a lot.
Yeah, but where do we put it is the problem. It's not like we have bay space down there.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I mean, they have those 12-volt deep freezer things that you can turn as a refrigerator or a freezer that I think Dometic makes them, but they take up a lot of space.
Are you enjoying the warm weather in South Texas?
It's been beautiful here, but it hasn't... Well, it's rained almost every day, hasn't it?
Yeah, but you're inside, so
But just a little bit of rain here and there. Not like it hasn't rained all day every day, but it doesn't affect me one damn bit because I'm inside on concrete.
Spoiled
With the bus lift and everything else.
You don't want to go to anywhere else.
Yeah, he's like, today I'm like, yeah, I can do more work here. I was ahead of schedule because I didn't rebuild that other engine, so we're doing good.
Some of the Wanderlodge bearings had what looked like deeper scratches. Did any transfer to the crank?
No, I couldn't detect anywhere whatsoever on the crank. I couldn't even see those matching lines on there. There was nothing that would hang a nail, nothing I could see. They were perfectly smooth. That's a virgin engine. It's never been molested before. So that was, the first time somebody's had that bottom end apart on there. And I mean, that's just how they look. So that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, I'm still trying to find, there's a ton of comments here. Most people are saying to put your song in all the videos.
Oh, yeah, well, I appreciate hearing that because It seems that the haters comments stand out more than other comments. At least maybe that's how I see them. So I appreciate that.
Why do most Detroit engines hunt at idle, especially when cold?
They really should. They should not hunt. If they hunt for more than like say five, let's say 10 seconds, which is probably less than that, they shouldn't be doing that. It's just not all the cylinders are firing equally on it. The rack's not run right. The injectors aren't right. It's just not balanced. That's why it's hunting, because the governor's trying to adjust for it. So one cylinder hits a little harder than the next one, and so it starts spinning just a hair faster, and then the governor tries to adjust for it, so it starts loping back and forth because it's trying to kind of get it set in it where it needs to be. That's sort of the easy way to explain what it's doing. The rack is bouncing back and forth for whatever reason's causing that. It could be any number of reasons. The buffer screw will settle it a little bit, which a lot of times people then think that they just adjust the buffer screw, and that's not really the source of what the problem was. If it's because the injector or the rack's not even, when you're setting all those fingers on the rack that control them, if it's not just straight down the line. And like that one engine that I worked on that had multiple size injectors in it, so one injector would give it more fuel than the next one because the injector itself was calibrated to give out a lot more fuel.
Will your new turbo be after-cooled? If not, why?
No. Well, number one, my block doesn't allow that, especially in the space that I have there. There's nothing I can modify or do to do that, so it would just be turboed. And I wouldn't necessarily want that. Or I mean, if I did that, I'd start falling into the game where I'm just going to continue to come up with ways to get more power, more power, and more power. And I don't think I want to go down that road. I say that now, but don't remind me of this video later. It'll just be turboed.
Do you still get credit if we use the skip ads button?
No, I don't think we do. I don't think we get any money whatsoever if you skip it. But I'm not going to tell you what to do or not to do. That's cheating the system. So, but I do not think we do.
What do you think the reasoning behind making Detroit series parts interchangeable?
I don't know. It made it easier for design when they did that. Um, I don't know. I see somebody just asked about YouTube Premium people. I get paid YouTube Premium. I get a section of money every month if people that have premium and watch it. It gets just, everybody, I don't know what percentage of your money that you pay, they divide it by how many videos you watch, and then they split that off and send it. So we do make money off of the premium people. I myself have YouTube Premium. I like that, so I don't have to see commercials.
I don't.
She doesn't have it, and she watches commercials all the time. But
I purposely watch commercials just to people to make money.
yeah. Oh, we have 600 people. Oh, now we have 599. We had 600 people in here. Oh, now 603. Yay.
I really enjoyed your visit to Galveston. Did you go on the sailing ship Alyssa?
No, we were in Houston. We never made it to Galveston. We were close, but we never made it. But it was nice down there.
Where are you headed after you leave there?
Austin, and then
Don't know from there.
we don't know for their. It should be Dallas area, but the person whose bus that is, it could either be in Dallas or it could be in Oklahoma, depending on when we work on it. And if it's in Oklahoma, then we're probably going to hit it on the way back after Phoenix.
As long as it's still in Oklahoma.
As long as it's still in Oklahoma. If it goes back to Dallas, then we're not going to work on that bus.
It just shot me to the end again. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Why did the eagle run away? Sounds like a bad joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did the eagle run away? I don't know why. I think it had a stuck injector in it, but it just wasn't completely stuck. And then when I we stopped the fuel on it, and that brought it back down under control, where it was just just barely running on the fuel that was left in the lines. Um, and then once I did shut it down, everything started reacting well. But then it could have been the buffer screw because that was a little sticky. And then when I went in there and oiled everything up, I removed the buffer, the governor top, lubed everything up in there, and just moved it around. And then after that, I started it. I had no issue of anything. So I'm not really sure what caused it, but it didn't. It ran perfectly after that. So that was good. I was not ready for that. I can't believe that she didn't tell me that it started like that the last time. But if you don't know buses or know engines, and we knew it had a sticky throttle pedal, but again, the throttle pedal was like seized, but it was seized in the no throttle position. So we got it all working and everything later just by lubing up all the clevises and everything throughout that whole system. So she just assumed that, but then just never told me that. So it was definitely an oh shit moment.
Do you work on Detroit two-stroke trucks?
Yes. Yep. Probably my highest rated video is working on a two-stroke truck.
Yep.
It's got like 1.5 million views or something like that.
Have you ever worked on a twin-engine scenic cruiser?
No, there's none in existence. There hasn't been since 60. I don't know what year they changed it, but yeah, every single scenic cruiser was owned by Greyhound. It wasn't owned by anybody else, and they all went and got the V8 upgrade. So there are no twin 471 scenic cruisers in existence today. If somebody tells you they have one or they've seen one, they have not. There is none.
Would the Detroit get hot driving up steep mountain highways without a turbo?
Well, they get hot climbing up any steep mountain, big hills, no matter what you have in them. You got to be careful about that. But they wouldn't breathe very well because the air gets thinner, so less oxygen. You're still trying to give it more fuel. They put out a lot of black smoke. You lose like 4% of performance every 1,000 feet above sea level. So when you're down, 25% of your power, it's really, really bad.
How was the power on the old 671s? One of the reasons I brought into a newer bus is to get 500 horsepower 8B92 instead of 250 horsepower 671, but it seems like your bus hauls pretty good.
Yeah, I'm only 250 horsepower, maybe 260 with my propane, I think. So, which would be, 238 would be stock in a 671. You just gotta learn how to drive it. I mean, I think people are used to just cars and just hauling ass on the highway, and like you go up a mountain grade and you don't even realize that you're going up a mountain. But the first time you drive a bus or a truck up a hill like that, you don't understand why those trucks are going slow in that right-hand lane. And that being said, you also don't understand when you pass them on the downside and you immediately jump in front of them and hit your brake. You speed up to pass them on the downside of a mountain, you cut over 10 feet, 15 feet in front of them, and then immediately step on your brakes. That happens to me all the time. People in cars just don't realize what is going on in those vehicles coming down a mountain and or going up a mountain. So you just got to take your time. If you don't overheat it, you'll get there a little slower, but it'll do it. It'll do the climb. It just won't do the climb at 70 miles an hour. And how many times are you climbing mountains that it's that big of a deal anyways? I don't understand I want a bigger engine in my bus, because if you can go that speed on the flat highway, I guess maybe if you lived in California and you're constantly going back and forth, but it's really not a whole lot of your time just to go a little bit slower up the mountain. And I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm fine with a 671. I'm not putting anything bigger in my bus.
When are you coming to Austin?
It's looking like maybe I'll finish here Wednesday, I think. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday I should finish here, and then I'll head to Austin. And I think and then in Austin, I'm working on another Wanderlodge. So it'll be like deja vu all over again. He sent me a thing saying, can we change the coolant hoses? I sent him a message back saying, I only do one set of coolant hoses on a Wanderlodge per year. So I'm all out. You don't know how bad when I saw that.
You can watch him do it.
I already knew it was a sucky job. It was easier on Mark's bus because the head was off of the engine when we did that. So it might actually be easier to remove the head to do it.
You can tell him how to do it.
Yeah, I'll tell him how to do it. I like that. Watch my damn video.
Oh boy.
I'm just teasing.
Why do you always call the fuel control to the rack?
What?
Why do you always call the fuel control to the rack?
I don't know what they're saying. You have to go
Me
to
neither.
the...
That's why I said it.
That's
Stop.
right. Oh, there he is. That's him. Guest star, dude. That's the guy for Austin.
What'd you tell? Is he giving you a hard time?
He said, "Aw."
Are you helping Tyler bring his bus home?
Absolutely, we will. That will be in March. Howdy, I'm in Texas, only 500 miles away. Nice. Texas is so damn big.
Someone says, I thought it was Phil starting that Eagle bus.
Oh, you know, that's how he starts them.
How often should you start a Detroit engine to prevent sticking injectors?
You know, usually I would say within 2 years, you're probably not going to have a stuck injector. But if you could start that thing every few months and especially drive it, don't just idle it, get a load on it, get it up to temperature, man, that's going to be so good for everything if you can do that. But definitely, a couple times a year, hopefully you can take it out. 6 months, I wouldn't even bat an eye. You're not going to have a problem. But as soon as I say that, somebody will have a problem. But there is actually like a procedure in the book for storing. If you're going to store, if you not started or run it more, I want to say it says 2 weeks. It's a ridiculous number like that that they say, and then they have a storage procedure in the book for if you're going to not do that. I think I don't know why I want to say 2 weeks, but I think it is a dumb number like that. Somebody can chime in if you know the answer to that. I would obviously never go through any of that or do that, but that's probably them covering their butts.
Are 6V92Ts rough on bearings?
Yes. That's why we're going after bearings at 145,000 miles.
How much torque?
It's a 1,000,000-mile motor, but you've got to do that like every 100,000. You should be checking them out.
How much torque does a non-turbo 671 make?
600 foot-pounds of torque. It pretty much goes right across the board. Yeah, you're like 100 foot-pounds per cylinder on a 71 series. That's kind of almost a standard number.
When does Lenny get his Jakes?
I don't even know if they're there yet.
Bailey hasn't said that.
Man, they're not there. I'm a little worried about that. We have the actual Jakes, but we don't have any of the other stuff. We don't have the valve cover. And the valve cover got sent to the wrong address, but then it was supposed to get forwarded back to us. And I don't think it's there yet.
Sorry, I'm trying to read through comments. There's a ton.
We could talk about our song again. Don't you know?
That song's stuck in my head.
Oh my God, it's very catchy in your head.
It's awesome. Why do you call the fuel control tube the rack? Each injector has its own rack.
The whole thing itself is just the rack that they all hang off of. I don't know. Unless he's some Detroit diesel expert who's telling me that's not what it is, but that's always running the rack is the entire everything on the top end there with the fuel control rod.
How much does it cost to buy a bus like yours?
I think I paid $3,200 for Lenny when I bought him.
It was rough.
He was really rough. Kelly wouldn't even go inside of him. He was so bad. I need to do a video of his build when I first got him. Did I tell the story before about the fridge? Did I tell the story on a live before?
You did.
Oh, okay, that was a good story. But he was so disgusting and just.
But the roof was dented in where a tree
yeah,
fell
tree
on.
had fell on him. He had a bent rod in the engine. He wasn't running right, and yeah, he was really, really rough. But you can find silver sides for $5,000 to $10,000 usually, but you're gonna there's no bus that's usually that you can buy that kind of price that you're gonna be able to just drive around and be good to go. So Just to give you an idea.
Do you know anyone looking for a Lenny for the sheet metal?
Looking like for the body work, the fluting on the sides. Don't scrap it. It all comes off. There's a gazillion rivets that hold them on. There's super tiny little rivets. The little channel pops out that runs between them, and then the whole thing is rivets underneath of there. But I know people that have plenty of extras and stuff too, but I'd hate to see more of them go to scrap. A lot of people could use them to spruce theirs up a little bit.
Can you put a turbo on an NA Detroit?
Yes, that's what I'm going to do on my bus. My bus is NA, and we're going to add a turbo to it. And I'm going to add a turbo to it without changing the pistons to turbo pistons the first time when I go around at it. And then when I blow that up, then I will add a turbo pistons to the engine with the turbo on it.
What are you blowing up?
Nothing. It's just a technical little problem that might come up.
Just do it right to begin with and get it done. Where in North Carolina did Lenny come from?
Well, Lenny actually originally was sold to Pennsylvania Greyhound Lines, who was then sold to Southeastern Greyhound Lines. And then after he retired from Greyhound, he went to Statesville, North Carolina, where he ran a charter bus company out of Statesville for a long time, up until into the 80s. And then he was a motorhome after that. So.
Someone's saying to please ask me if you could put the noisy mufflers back on Lenny. You didn't like the noisy mufflers.
It was too loud. I felt bad driving through any town, mostly, especially at night. I did feel bad at night. In the daytime, it was fun.
You would have to travel alone.
No, it was too loud. It sounded really. He's still got a really deep growl to him, and Phil doesn't like my exhaust at all. He's like, I thought you put a muffler on that damn thing. I'm like, that is the muffler.
You've got two.
There's two mufflers, as a matter of fact, officer. Sorry.
Do you want another video of our 1-year-old dancing to your new song?
Oh, I saw that. That was Rodney's video, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, keep the videos coming.
Yes. Yeah, his little girl was getting jiggy to the Bus Grease Monkey song. It was awesome.
If you see something come up, then where in the Austin area? I don't think you know, do you?
I don't know. Cast Iron Dude, you could.
He's on there.
Yeah,
if he wants to tell.
He's in here if he wants to say where he's at or give him an idea. He might not actually be in Austin. He might just be saying Austin, but being in the Austin area. That's typically how things work.
When are you going to replace your clutch?
When I let out on the clutch and the bus doesn't move, that's when I'll be replacing my clutch.
Or when you have nothing better to do?
Yeah. Or the next time I get stuck in a hole and I start asking Kelly if it smells like burning something back there. And she says yes.
That already happened.
It's got to happen more than once. I have the clutch with me, so it'll just be like it should be a one-day job at this point when I do go to change it. But it's a total unknown. I have no idea what that clutch looks like. It could have 100,000 miles left on it, or it could have 10,000 miles left on it. It's definitely had some leak.
Zero.
It could have zero, yeah. It's had some leaking oil on it over its life, so I know it's got some. I know there's going to be that kind of, when you see that oil get on between there and get some hot spots because of it and some kind of gunky gooey stuff. But it's been grabbing real well. It doesn't slip at all, but I don't know.
How did Lenny get his name?
Oh man, we answer that all the time. Just he had a brother named Benny. That was it. So Lenny went good with Benny. So we have 700 people watching on here. How about this? If you want us to keep using the song as intro music, hit the like button on this video, and then that will tell me that you want that to happen. So if we have a whole bunch of likes for the video, then I will know that you want me to keep using the intro music. But I won't use a lot. I'll only use like 15, 20 seconds, something like that at a time. So hit the like button if you would like us to use the intro music.
And before you read that, someone is asking who did the intro music.
Tom Feller is his name, and
He's out of Indiana.
yeah, if you click on the video, I pinned a post from him. So that was, and he's got I think his contact info and his website and stuff like that's on there too. And then I just had a super chat. John Clamshell, Scott, I want to put trailer hitch on my bus. 2002 Thomas Freightliner. Any recommendations, fabricators? Also, my tires say 115 psi. Do I fill to 115 or can I go less? So in order to go less psi, you need to weigh your bus and weigh your individual axles to know what the weight is on them. And then each tire manufacturer has a chart that'll tell you how many pounds each tire can hold at that weight. And if it's a dual, you can divide that number by 2 per wheel. But there is a setting, a tire number for duals and one for singles as well. And then you can go with a lighter PSI, but only if you know your weight. It's not worth it to risk it and do that. And it's a much better ride if you're at a lower PSI. You know, if you can get away with 90 or something like that, based on your weight, it's a much, much better ride. And then the trailer hitch, I don't know anything about that, but that should be a real standard thing. I'd get something that can bolt on. Anywhere should be able to do a trailer hitch. I don't know anything about Thomas buses. I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. And then I had another super chat. Where and when will you be in the Austin area? I'm close to Lockhart. There you go. There's your answer. Wherever that's at. I don't know which side of Austin that is. So I haven't looked at a map yet.
But probably Wednesday-ish.
I think Wednesday.
Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday at the latest, I assume is when I'm going to be there.
Where did you learn to work on Detroits?
Watch the How Did I Become the Bus Grease Monkey video. It's right on our main page of the channel. That'll answer that question in complete surprise to you.
Whatever happened to Benny?
Now
I'm gonna cry.
Oh yeah. So Benny got traded for my Volkswagen thing, and he was supposed to be an office. He was going to be an indoor office for a marketing firm, and then they ended up using him for some commercial work, and then they needed to put a vinyl wrap on him for this commercial job that they were using him for, and the vinyl wrap wouldn't stick to the kind of paint that was on him, so they sandblasted or walnut shell blasted him, so all his paint was gone, and they gutted the inside of him for that commercial job, and then he got sold to somebody else, so they don't even own him anymore. But he looks nothing like, he's not painted. His whole interior has been ripped out, and I would assume he's probably getting turned into a motorhome or something, but he's
totally not what we wanted for him.
Yeah, not what we wanted.
Wouldn't have traded.
We would have not. Yeah.
What would be the best guess for an in-frame rebuild on a V92?
Price range for, does it say 6 or 8?
Doesn't say.
If everything is good, like where your heads are salvageable and you don't need turbo and that kind of stuff, you're probably looking about 10 grand would be my guess. That number could probably go up to 15 to 20 if you needed heads and turbos and all that kind of stuff.
How many times have you experienced a runaway diesel?
I don't know, 5 maybe? 5 times? I think 5. My bus, Jeffrey's bus, one with Phil, the Eagle. Maybe it's only 4. I feel bad if I'm forgetting one. It would have scared me enough to be in my head.
Can you float the gears like in a dump truck or semi?
You can. Absolutely you can. It just takes longer, and I don't have time to do that. Yeah, I'd rather get through the shift, double click, double clutch real quick, boom, throw it into gear and go. If I wait to float that gear, I'm waiting about a second and a half, 2 seconds longer per shift, and the people behind me are already, why is this guy taking so long to accelerate? So yeah, I would much rather get through I only got 4 gears, so floating them, it's not gonna save me that much time, but it's fine.
On the new site / house, how big will the barn dominium be?
It's gonna be big, hopefully, but I think it's gonna be a big concrete pad to begin with. Maybe we'll get a shade thing over it or something, but I don't know.
You're gonna have 3 bays.
Yeah, I think 3
With a lot
bays
of
with
extra
extra room
room.
in between, like an extra 15 to 20 feet between each bay. But we'll see. I'm not really sure. I had another super chat. My wheels are stud mount style. Would it be a monster job to switch to hub mount wheels? What would be involved? I've never actually done that, but I don't think it's super hard. You just need to make sure that your hub will allow that, or change the hub on it to do that. But I know somebody who did it on his bus, and he just changed to different studs, but because the hub was still the same dimension as what the rim was for it, and then the studs were fine with the new style stud.
How many buses do you own now?
I only own one bus. And I saw somebody said, yes, I'm going to have a pit in the new barn. It'll probably be a half pit. That won't be the whole length. And just, I could, pull it in forwards if I need the front end, or back it in for the back. I'll probably put pull through doors though. So if I just pull the bus through. Hey, Brandon.
How did the song come about? Was it something you wanted, or did it just kind of happen?
Man, that awesome song. It just happened.
It was a surprise.
Yeah, I opened my email and she just said, hey, here's a song I wrote for you. It was...
Yeah, you had nothing to do with it.
I didn't know anything. I gave him no input, nothing. I didn't know he was doing it. He did that whole entire... I said, I opened my email and there it was. And I was like, wow. But you can watch this later to see. We talked about that earlier.
Now that you've put some miles on the rebuild in Lenny, what kind of gas mileage are you getting?
I'm still about 10 miles per gallon on the highway.
No gas.
What?
No gas.
Oh, yeah. My gas mileage is great. I use less gas than a Prius on the highway. But my diesel fuel mileage is about 10 miles to the gallon on the highway.
It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah, there's no difference. And I'm heavy, so it's worse when I got like 8.5 when we went through the Rockies out to Oregon and all that. So, climbing mountains and stuff like that, it's not the same. But here are we in the Midwest still? What's Texas considered?
The South?
It's like the Wild West. I don't know what it is.
I would assume the South.
Southwest is still the other way. So like Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know what
We're in
Texas
the
considers
South.
itself. But here where it's pretty flat and close to sea level, he'll get 10.
Can two strokes become hydro-locked when changing injectors?
Not really. I mean, you would have to put a ton of fluid down them. No, that's not going to happen.
Did you learn from Lance, or did Lance learn from you to work on two-stroke Detroits?
What?
It's the question.
I don't even know where that comes from. Unless you're confusing Lance with somebody else. Lance doesn't really work on two strokes. He works on his bus. He works, he's learning all the maintenance systems on there, but the engine side of things, he hasn't really worked on anything with that other than just, helping me out and stuff. So.
Someone's asking if I'm camera shy.
But he's a hard worker. That's for damn sure. What now?
Got another person asking if I'm camera shy.
Oh, yes.
Only on here.
Only on YouTube. She didn't used to be. She's in a lot of old videos.
Threw me to the end again, so if you see something pop up. And a lot of people aren't putting all caps, so I'm trying to read. Is Tyler going to call his bus Jenny?
I don't know what Tyler's going to call his bus yet. I know his idea is.
He says I'm not allowed to say the name of my bus on here.
Oh, that's the name. Samuel L. Jackson Express.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a runaway blow up?
No, never. I've never had one where I wasn't able to shut it down. Mine was the closest one to ever doing that, and it had only been running away for, maybe 10 seconds, which seemed like 4 hours when it was happening. A super chat. Nomadic Tech, $2 for Tyler's bus name jar. Don't forget to hit the like button if you want us to use the Bus Grease Monkey song on as a part of it as our intro on our videos. If you want us to do that, hit the like button and then we'll know.
Will Tyler be moving to the new property?
I believe Tyler is moving to the new property, but probably depends on a lot of things. Tyler is welcome to move to the new property. And he'll have a new bus and he'll want to work on it. And I think there's plenty of work down in the Nashville area. And if we're going to be down there, he's said he wants to move there.
Would you ever hunt down your old bus to see it again?
I don't think so.
I would cry.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see him right now. Tyler's be there until the KHOA evicts me, which is the Kelly HOA, which is going to be way harder than any HOA any of you guys ever had.
It's a no junkyard allowed is all it is.
That's only on the first couple acres, right? Oh, she's giving me a not so nice look. I was just teasing.
The junk has to be hid.
I know. We're going to paint it camouflage.
I can still see camouflage.
No. We're painting everything camouflaged, and then she won't know it's there.
You need to put a fence up or something and hide it behind the fence. I'm not going to drive onto our pretty new property and see crap everywhere. I'm glad you think it's funny.
I don't think it's funny. I think it's funny that we thought we could paint it camouflage and get away with it.
You two are dumb.
We're dumb.
Oh, boy. Trying to find the next question.
Sorry. I definitely want some shipping containers out there. That is for sure.
Your backhoe is not going to fit in the shipping container. Did you know Lenny was going to be a boy bus, or did you wait for the delivery?
We named him when we picked him up, right? We'd already named, yeah.
Does Lenny's transmission have synchros?
No, none of these old buses do. That's why you always hear them grinding away. And everyone drives a little bit differently than the next. Like you hop in one bus and you drive it, and then you get in another bus. It's completely different. As you saw when I taught Taylor how to drive his Silver Sides.
Where is the bus RV park going to be?
On the property. We haven't figured out exactly for sure yet where it's going to go.
Are you still running propane for the power boost?
Yes, I don't have it hooked up right now, but it's all hooked up and working. I just don't have a tank on it right now. There's no mountains. I'm not worried about it right now at this point.
How do you like the Texas speed limits?
I like the Texas speed limits, but I don't like that when it's like 75, 85 miles an hour in some parts of Texas, I think. Maybe it's just 80. So, but even at 75, I have a hard time, you know, because people then are going 80. So I don't get to pass as many people. I feel slow. It doesn't really affect me.
Threw me to the end again. So if you see something pop up, I'm going back. Okay.
Sorry.
What parts are becoming difficult or impossible to purchase for the two-stroke Detroits?
None. Everything's there. Like if you want to convert the alternator, that's a little bit harder to find, that kind of stuff. But anything that's on your engine that's part of the engine, you know, mechanical side of the engine, everything is remanufactured or made for that. There's nothing that you can't do.
Okay. Do you ever plastic gauge your rod and main bearings?
Absolutely. Especially if there is wear, like a significant wear on there. But 150,000 miles, like on this bus, there was no reason to do that. There's no wear on there. The crank looked absolutely perfect. This is just a real quick, you know, first time it's getting done. It did not need that. That would just been a waste of step, time, money, everything. Which one thing that I need to watch out for is because the manufacturer almost sent it. Well, they did send us the wrong size bearings for the main bearings. We ordered one size, they sent us another. It's like, make sure that you check that. But he'd actually caught the mistake and called me before we got them, and said, hey, I sent you the wrong size. He sent us 2000s oversized instead of standard. If somebody wasn't paying attention, and even though you ordered standard, you know, you got to make sure you look at that stuff. That would have been a potential bad issue that would have happened with that. So
If that Wanderlodge was for sale, what would it be worth? Best guess.
To the right person, I could see that bus selling for $60,000-$70,000, maybe even more, because you're not going to find another one that nice in that kind of condition. If you tried to buy one that was a $35,000 bus, you couldn't put $35,000 into it and have it this nice. So, you know, it might take him a little while to sell it at that price, but I think that he could get that.
What would your next bus make model be if you sold Lenny?
I'm not even going to address that. I'm not going to sell Lenny. And if something happened to Lenny, I would replace him with another Silver Sides. I'm pretty sure. I mean, if I had an extra second bus, then it would probably be an MC6 would probably be what I'd lean towards. But
This person said, sorry, I meant Tyler, not Lance, on the working on two strokes.
oh,
Makes more sense.
that makes a hell of a lot more sense. We kind of learned together. You know, when I bought the bus, and then he would help me work on it. He knew more about engines and diesel specifically. I had never ever worked on a single diesel engine in my life before I got a bus. I don't think I've ever drove a diesel powered. I guess I had diesel powered tugs at the airport when I worked at the ground service. So, and the fuel truck was diesel. But for the most part, I had never really driven any diesel vehicles.
Is there such a thing as a 2-speed rear for a bus?
Yes. And for a GM bus, it's out there. Extremely rare. I've not come across one yet, and it would be fun to add that to my bus. I would love to be able to find that at some point.
Please explain what hydrolock is.
Any kind of a fluid stopping something from moving. So like if the piston couldn't come up all the way because you can't compress a liquid, like air gets compressed, a liquid can't. So something that would lock it in a state of not being able to turn over usually ends up in bent rods and stuff like that, because it's usually just one cylinder and then that happens. So that's the easy way to explain it.
Is it possible to put modern airbag suspension on a bus like yours?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything's possible. I'm not wanting to do that. I just want to get new leaf springs on mine. And soon. That's on my list of things very, very soon.
Will you build a nice big bus shed for Lenny to live in at the new property?
Yes, he will have a home.
He will have his own bay.
Yep. I'm going to try to take a drink. See how this goes. Nobody wants to see me do that.
What holy grail pieces are you missing for your silver sides?
I'm missing the rear stoplight assembly. The drum head stoplight. That's completely missing. Actually, the drum head is there, but nothing that goes on the inside is there. The little sides that hold the stoplight, those are missing. The stop glass is missing. I think I'm gonna get one soon when the guys start reproducing it, but that's the only, I think, serious cosmetic thing that I'm missing. Sorry. Earthquake.
Okay, we're gonna finish up here because you're
Oh,
over your.
yeah, we're over our hour, so we're gonna. Yeah, you
There's
don't need.
a couple more here.
Yeah, she's just gonna finish a couple more questions.
What does it mean when oil is coming out of the exhaust on a 671?
It could mean a whole lot of things. It really depends. If you let it idle a lot, that could be a symptom of that. You could be down a cylinder. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, like wet stacking can happen. What?
Let's keep going.
Did I say something stupid?
No, I'm reading.
Oh. You would have to look into it more than just saying that that's what the problem is. It could be a bad problem with your. Are you turboed? Is it the turbo being a problem? Yeah, there's just a lot of things.
Our son wants to know if he puts a $500 car cover on a $20 truck, can it still sit outside? Mama would smack him for being that dumb.
She would.
Give me the $500 and just let it sit there, okay?
Yeah.
Just hide it. Just throw me to the end again. And did somebody just really ask about a plasma cutter?
No, they were joking, I'm sure.
Well, I don't care.
Oh, don't.
Time out. That's what he gets for throwing me then.
Remember, if you like the song a lot and you want to hear it, little bits of it as our intro, click.
You might want to quit saying that because now we're getting thumbs down too.
Oh, really?
And I wish I knew who was getting the thumbs down because they would be.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. How many thumbs down do we have? It doesn't show me that on mine.
15.
Oh, that's not very many.
I don't care.
Okay, are we done? Or are you going to read another one? Don't ask anymore because we're never going to catch up.
When do you break ground?
How about we close before we break ground? Well, technically we broke ground by digging all them damn holes out there for the septic system.
We're gonna have to clear trees and stuff.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a better chainsaw. And maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos about how to bring down trees.
We'll be out there with a little saw. Any update on the power lines?
Nope. We're buying the property no matter what because power is available to us. It just depends on how we got to do it. We're really hoping that the neighbor will allow us to have that easement. And I've said it before. I don't want to ask him over the phone or in a letter. I just want to talk to him face to face. So we'll see what happens.
Any specific bay to remount generator in? PD 4107.
Usually your bay where the air conditioning used to be. So there's already like a grate on the door, the bay door, so you're not having to add extra holes and stuff like that. That's usually where people put the generator on all the buses. So
in your new shop, will you have the bus lifts that you're using now?
I really like them. I believe I will have a version of that. I don't think I'm going to have the giant lifts because, when I build, I'd have to build the building so damn tall to lift a 14-foot bus another 6 feet off the ground. I don't need 22-foot ceilings with nothing. I don't know if my math was right on that. That was on the fly. I ran out of fingers and toes. But yeah, I don't want to build I don't think the ceiling is going to be that high. And for lighting purposes and heat and air conditioning and all that, I'd rather just be able to lift them up, a foot to be able to get under them. Plus I'll have the pit and stuff too. So I think a version like that would be really nice to have. I think I just saw Super Chat go by. Steel Farm Bros, the chainsaw to get. Steel Farm Boss. Is this my phone is this distance away where I cannot, like, I have, without my glasses I can't see anything. With my glasses I can see to about here, and then when I get to there it's a whole nother in between land. I start guessing at what I'm seeing. I think we're gonna finish up. So I don't know what I didn't finish with saying. My closing statement for the night. I love the damn song. I think it's awesome. I can't get it out of my head. Tomorrow I'm taking the day off working on my bus, and then Monday and Tuesday I'll be back on the Wanderlodge and getting things finished up on that. Just going through brakes and wheel bearings and all that kind of maintenance side stuff. Rear end, checking the fluid, that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We have 522 likes. That's awesome. Hit the like button before you leave, then I'll know that you like the song. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good night.